Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello.
And that means it is time for Steel Division, guys. So today on Carperket, who have we got here, Rang?
Well, today on the left-hand side in the blue, playing as the 6th Airborne Division, we got a.lennart. And on the right-hand side in red, we have ku2521, playing as the 352nd Infantry Division.
Now, we are playing on an airfield map. Does that mean that the 6th Airborne is going to have any kind of advantage here, or what are you thinking so far initially?
Well, I'm already pretty biased against 6th Airborne. I personally don't think it's a good deck, and it will hurt a little bit, I'd say, in more of their open ground engagement, because it's got very light armor, so it's going to be hard fighting in that area. The town, though, they do have those lovely AB Paras with those CQC submachine guns, so they can make something happen, hopefully.
More than fair.
They're also thinking about it. They do have the Pack 40 gun, that big old Pack 40, so maybe I can get something done in that southern section if he can keep it alive, of course.
That's true, but even with their super light tanks, or well, not super light, but moderately light tanks over on the 6th Airborne side, doesn't the 352nd hurt just as much for that?
Yeah, they do get those Panzerjäger French captured things, which aren't too bad. It's a pretty even fight between them and the Tetrarchs, and of course the captured French Renault tanks, which aren't exactly all yet amazing. I believe, bro, in his deck he does not have a Pack 40 in A phase, and I can't even get one for 3 seconds. So I don't know, maybe looking back at it might be a bit more of a fight in that open ground engagement.
Now, there was something we were talking about before we started casting here. I mean, the artillery advantage is certainly, I would say, at least, in the favor of the 352nd. Now,
yeah, looking at the 352nd... Sorry, go ahead.
No, please, go for it. Jump on in.
But yeah, looking at the 352nd deck, they got... It's heavy mortars, Neighborwerfers, SK-18s, off-map Panther 4 artillery. It's a lot, especially with the Neighborwerfers. He's got pretty much 5 of them. And you all know that Neighborwerfer 41 is a powerful unit.
Indeed it is. And we're actually getting kicked off right about now. Didn't even talk about the opening dispositions, but taking a look at the breakouts, it does look like the 352nd is looking to get in, seize that territory early, and just kind of hold on.
Yeah, going for that middle, like, aircraft bunkers, and going pretty aggressive down south for the aircraft bunkers too, which are pretty good defensive positions, of course.
Now, shockingly enough, we were kind of tough talking that 35R Panzer Jaeger here. At the same time, I don't see a lot of any kind of... Actually, I don't see any AT to the northern side. Do you, for the Brits? I don't see... There's no AT whatsoever up there, is there?
Yeah, they are very strangled for AT, so I'm guessing he's going to have to rely on using his infantry and Piats to talk. Fortunately, that's going to be pretty good, as there's really no tanks up north to worry about at the moment.
Very true. Now, Pack 38 setting up to the northern side. Looks like it's going to get a shot or two off on that CMP. Doesn't quite take out that truck, though. And down to the south, we actually are going to see that the Pack 38 on the German wide left is actually immediately getting pinned almost instantly.
Yeah. And I
kind
believe,
of a shock there.
Was that smoke from the Brits? Or was that smoke from the... Oh, yeah, smoke from the Germans with the Grenadier Führer saving the Pack 38. That's some good micro. And I do want to point out, a.lennart is, at the moment, number 5 on the leaderboard. ku2521, he's number 4 on the leaderboard, so this is some high-level play. The top players, essentially, we're seeing right now, so...
Oh, I wasn't saying, not even essentially, these are the top players. And
yeah, these are the top 10.
And you're actually definitely seeing that happen already. We're just seeing excellent play by Lennart, just hopping forward. It looks like he's almost playing paintball with paratroopers just to the north of that German salient. Those paratroopers, man, I was like, one, hop out, hop in, hop out, hop in. Excellent micro control there.
Yeah, I mean, AB Paras aren't great at longer ranges, but against Osttruppen, which only have that one machine gun compared to Panzergrenadier button and only one SMG, the AB Paras have a real good chance of winning these battles, even in head-on engagements.
Indeed. I mean, the Osttruppen, like you said, I mean, Actually, looking at this, I mean, the Osttruppen I almost feel like should be better then
pretty...
I don't know how to elaborate.
It's the veterancy a lot. You got to remember for the AB
That
power
is true.
out a ton. That's because a 2-star Bren is somewhat effective. It's not great, but I'm thinking for ku2521, he's gonna have to rely more on his artillery, such as the 81mm and fire support, to really win this northern section. As full-on infantry fights at the moment.
Well, that's pretty much how the 352 is supposed to be played, though, isn't it? Is really kind of supplementing that massive amount of ground troops, or as some might even say, meat shields, to kind of gain that territory.
Exactly. I don't get those crazy Panzergrenadiers or Feldjägers. Really, just regular grenadiers, pioneers, which aren't bad, but they're not amazing by himself. And fighting against Paris is proved to be a bit of a pain in the butt here for KU.
Now, something I do want to call out, something kind of weird about the deck, at least for ku2521, is that he is rocking a potential 7 Opel Blitz munitions trucks. And is that strange? I think it's strange, at least personally.
I think that's pretty strange, honestly, too. I mean, he has a lot of artillery in his deck, so maybe he's gonna need all of it for the potential artillery spam, but heck, I'm thinking just like 5 is more than enough. I mean, is he really gonna be shooting that much? Because that's pretty crazy.
We're actually going to see one coming in immediately, right in the center part of that field, reloading that Panzer Jaeger.
Yeah.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, too. That pack gone on top of that, that's a pathetically low HE value. It's practically not even worth having it overall.
The pack 38?
No, the pack, the 35, the Panzer Jaeger 35R, so it's a pack 36 cannon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's the Czech version on top of it, too, so it's practically worthless to me, but,
yeah, it's nothing crazy, but it's like with a lot of these German captured tanks. It's something.
True. Now we are seeing actually a bit of sustained rush coming from the southern sector here. Snipers were holding up the German push just quite a bit. But it does look right now the Osttrooper are going to get in on top of that Vickers before too much longer.
Yeah, all the Vickers are going to be able to get maybe one shot.
Nope.
Completely stunned up.
That base of fire is incredible.
That's really good. I think MG42 helped out a lot dealing with the sniper, and now if the Osttroopers moving in, they could hopefully clear up and get into that little defensive position. Because even though at very small tree line, mate, that's a very good defensive position overall, because there's just some line of sight blocker within this giant bloody airfield.
True. And actually it's kind of funny to see the Germans pushing in the south, because in the northern side they're getting pressured out. MG42 goes down the south. In the north, we're seeing that Pack 38 MG42 being forced to fall back or face surrender.
Yeah, it's pretty good here for the northern side for a.lennart, because he needs to find these more close-range engagements in this town, not just with the buildings, but with all the apple orchards surrounding it. Fantastic line-of-sight blocks. Right now it's not going well because he's fighting in an open ground engagement, and those mortars, they are just hurting him real bad, so he needs to fall back and really let the enemy come to him.
Well, and right now he does have the... Oh no, never mind. He did have a 5149, but I guess the Germans are not allowing that to happen. Just continue to churn on forwards in the south. Though it does look like we're going to see some British infantry shifting on over to kind of reinforce these sagging lines here.
It's not looking all that great. He's going to be falling back at 6-pounder, which is going to be pretty important because you can pretty much only get 1 or 2 of him. But he's going to need a bit more, maybe. I would say Tetrio, but all it has is a single machine gun.
That's true. We're not talking about the Little Johns in this particular case.
So yeah,
that's rather
it's
telling.
a bit tough here.
Yeah.
On the southern side. I mean, we're AB leader.
We just see a typhoon coming out, and I'm sorry, it's been a long week, guys, so please forgive us. We're kind of talking over each other. Been a long week, at least I know for me. Tetrarch in the north does go down, but we did see a little bit of air power before coming on out. Is that the air power really how the 6th Airborne is going to kind of get through this, or no?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, looking at it, he has quite a lot of typhoons, temperatures, really pretty decent airborne force, and especially in this more open area where you can get good line of sight, those planes will serve rather effectively. And also, the 6th Airborne planes are pretty fast, especially the Mosquitoes. so they can outrun and fight the German planes effectively.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Anyway, so we are seeing more and more Tetrarchs being brought on in, and actually I think every single Tetrarch that's been coming in has died within about 5 seconds in the front lines. So I might be wrong, but the one moving to the northern sector right now might be one of the last ones he has in his deck overall.
Yeah, looking at his deck, a lot of his Tetrarch CS's, which are pretty good, and he only has one card of the Command Tetrarch, so nothing too crazy. And well, the Tetrarch CS is definitely going to help out on that northern side just because it does have some sort of fire support capabilities, because these Ostroop and artillery is really pushing back a.lennart quite a bit as paratroopers are just getting pounded away.
And I guess we are seeing the reason for the Opal Blitz. That thing is already down, to about 2/3 munitions load.
and we're not even in B phase yet.
Exactly. We're still 90 seconds off from that, good God.
Yeah. And then once we get into B phase, that's when the German artillery really comes into play with enable rifles and heavier mortars.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, even the 120mm is going to be more than enough just to push, I would say, the 6th Airborne out of pretty much this entire town section, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and this is really good play here from KU. Yes, you could say, oh, he's artillery spamming, but when you'll fight an opponent like this inside a town, shooting them with artillery a lot while you move up is a pretty sound strategy to win the battle.
Well, and what's more, that's how you play the 3-5-2.
Yeah, it is kind of an artillery spam deck. See, once you get the SK-18s rolling out the field. And I know a.lennart, he can't sustain heavy casualties for so long. So maybe if KU keep written on an array, then Lennart would be completely out of infantry. Or
Seems
good
fair.
infantry, I should say.
Now, we are going to see the beginning of the Bren group spam coming down to the south, but I'm not sure that's really going to change anything down there.
Yeah, mortar in play. It was Bren group is going to get stunned up in the open. The Ostroop are going to hold out for a good amount of time. I would say Tetrarch CS would be good down south, but yeah, Pack 38 is on the field, so and that'll be a little bit risky.
Well, he's inside. Oh no, I thought for half a second he's inside that garrison, but I guess not. We just have hit Phase B now, so you said a little bit beforehand. We are seeing a 51-49 in favor of the 6th, but do you think that kind of momentum is going to continue or no?
Well, the 6 do have now compared to A phase, and they can start getting some actual tanks, some more AT guns, more planes. But it's the infantry that really hurt for the 6, and if they're going to lose all their good infantry, now is not the time to do so. They need to try and keep them alive, because, yeah, these mortars up top are just going array continuously, and they're just getting fantastic stuns on these AB powers, and losing on AB power scroll. Something you want to try to avoid as much as possible, especially considering there's another 30 minutes in this match. You're going to have to try and keep all your good infantry alive.
Now, it is kind of amusing to me, and I think I mentioned this to you before the game even started here. There's only one recon card over here for ku2521. Now,
yeah,
I was going to say, do you want to comment on that? Because to me, again, it sounded a little bit strange to only have 3 really, really good optic units.
It's a weird choice, I have to say. It's only a Fusilier, so 3 Fusilier squadrons is only recon. In the open field, you definitely want that recon for spotting. In this town area, maybe not so much. You can get away with it because it's a bit more CQC. You're probably going to get shot at before you really spot the enemy. I know it is a weird choice card. I've never actually seen that before. And also, he only has 1 card of tanks in his deck, so just the 2 Stug 3s and B phase. I'm thinking KU just wants to go heavy on that artillery essentially to get him through the match. That seems like he just pretty much neglected his recon for more artillery and anti-tank units.
And listen, that Fusilier's going to get bombed out in a second. Savaged, but not completely dead. A little shocking on that one. Panzerjäger, in the meantime, getting shots off of that Tetrarch, I would think. Yeah, he's lining up right there. That poor guy's going to go down in a shot or 2. No, never mind.
Oh, misses.
And actually, now I'm thinking about it, that Tetrarch is almost... I was going to say the Tetrarch actually has enough HE. to force something out of the Panzerjäger, but Panzerjäger does find him before that happens. Huh.
Better just slowly rhythm the raid. They got a little bit of a foothold now in the town, and it's really just us trooping spam, but it's going pretty well. The artillery is doing its job effectively.
I mean, that's what we're saying
not
for right
much in
now,
the town.
but we are seeing a pack howitzer being called on out for the Brits, and this guy, I'm not entirely sure where he's shooting. Probably back behind the front lines, but,
Yep, looks like to be counter battery.
But there's, oh my god, but there's a 170 off-map call-in coming in here. Which means we're going to see an attempt, I would say, at another kind of sundering of the northern British front.
Yeah, but there's not even much British to really call in anymore. It's just a leader and 4 paras.
But there's more of them coming in.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's quite a few reinforcements. That's definitely gonna... Oh, that's quite a lot of reinforcements.
I was going to say, they're all coming to the town as well.
Yeah, he's really realised, yeah, hey, I've kind of lost everything up north. Maybe I should get more guys into the meat grinder.
True. And Ku is up a few percentile here. Now, the unfortunate thing for him is he's dropping his first TOT barrage just before some of these trucks are going to get there.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just trying to level the town? I don't know.
No, I think he's just guessed there might have been some enemies there because that's a defensive location. You got like the orchard covering you. That's right. I'd put my first because you got this close range engagement. So yeah, this didn't really work out well.
And these are the air landing troops as well. I'm not a big fan of these guys. How about you? Do you really kind of like them, or?
Nah, they're not really that good. I mean, they got a Bren gun. Meh. They got a Piat. It's really the only thing really going for them is the 2 SMGs. But apart from that, they can't hold your liquor compared to the AB powers.
I would not have expected you to put it that way, but that definitely sounds like a fair assessment. Now, just theory crafter for half a second. Ku's got a fair amount of infantry in the center part of this field. Not a massive amount, but he also can call in a fair chunk of it, I would say. What would you say about the idea of taking these hangars where you've got about 4 or 5 squads plus that Panzerjäger and just driving north to cut off the infantry? What would you think? Decent idea? Not great?
I think that's a pretty good idea. I'd use a few pioneers though to try and clear out the forest, but yeah, using the Panzerjäger's rail, trying to get into a bit of an open field, yeah, it would be a good location to do pretty much a double round-me attack and try to surround the forces. That's a smart play, Khan. That's a smart play.
I mean, of course, we do have God View right about now, but I would still think that seeing the bulge, my first thought would be, let's get behind it. Use this forest as cover from any kind of immediate attack.
Yeah, and it's not that far between the plane hangars and the town, so you're not exposed to too much enemy fire.
But then again, it seems like he's doing pretty well even without worrying about that. A couple of squads already going down, but there is a 6-pounder engaging that Panzerjäger. And his engine destroys that poor guy. He was doing well, but not any longer.
Not any longer. Oh no. Oh, 6-pounder, if you can actually hit it. I mean, has 2 stars for a reason. Come on. Jesus!
He's playing with his food! And he finally takes a big chunk out of it. There we go.
Finally. I mean, I was even shooting it from the side as well.
But no, I think the moment has passed. I think the opportunity has passed. Unless we see another TOT barrage coming on down, I think the Germans have really missed an opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, the AB powers are in, and now they're going to be doing a bit more of a open engagement, so there's no real fight support for Germans either right now, so yeah, I don't know, I give the powers a pretty good shot.
We do see that one of the blitz is almost completely and totally without munitions, and we're also seeing that both mortars just to the northeast of that are actually fairly low as well.
Yeah. Fortunately, he's got like 6 more open blitzes, though.
That's true. That is true.
There's still 23 minutes in the match remaining, so I don't think he's gonna have to worry about supply.
You know what? I would hope not. We are gonna see an OP truck coming out. Excuse me, an OP Jeep, really, coming out from the Brits.
Yeah. The off-map 380 run, and that's going to really level the German offensive if he can get a good shot, essentially.
You know, I'm predicting a call right on top of these hangars. I think, honestly, that'd be a great position. You might as well blow that up and then kind of push through with your own infantry in that area.
That'd be a good location for an attack, but Yeah, I'd see that. And you can kind of gain more of that open ground engagement. Yeah, I'm also guessing maybe on the infantry more towards the right here, as they are starting to engage the air landings and machine guns.
There it is.
There we go.
And I'm taking a look down to the south. Not a lot. Actually, not really anything going on. A couple of buildings have been leveled by artillery. We can see some of this looks like the surface of the moon. But all in all, not really a lot going on in the south. It seems to be happening a lot recently with our cast. It seems that the south is always the quiet sector.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even in like the other maps, it's always been pretty quiet. I guess also because you know it's a 1v1. Only one person can be focusing so much at once. So I usually like we see a lot like both sides kind of have like a secret like non-verbal armistice where hey, you don't attack the left side, I won't attack the left side either. But we've actually seen a beginning of hostilities, yeah, on the south.
I do want to note that 381 barrage devastated those squads in that hangar, and that's there goes the center of the German position here.
Yeah, and that's not going to be too good. Unfortunately, some of the powers have been down, so they can't fully exploit it yet. They are starting to move up. Yeah, exactly.
Those are famous last words, I would say. Now, the mortars are slowly moving forward as well. Looks like trying to engage the HMGs to the north. In the meantime, okay, so help me out here. We have tons and tons of pairs coming all over the place, and we see very often that the Scotch, for example, they throw in tons and tons of cheap infantry.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way for victory on this map for somebody like the 6th, or no?
No, 6th Airborne has, I'd say, the least amount of units that you can get per card per division. You are very stretched out for just numbers, especially when it comes to infantry. It's even like your air landings you don't get crazy amount of in your Paris. So it's very important being conservative with your 6th Airborne infantry, because you need every last one of them to get you through the match. I know that's my one problem with 6th Airborne is they just don't have much in terms of numbers. Once you get to G phase, a lot of time you're so spent in terms of cards that it's really hard to continue to fight for much longer.
Now we are seeing the last TOT barrage from Lennart's guy being called on in. I think we still have one more.
Yeah, I think there's one more left for the 381.
No, for Ku. Actually, no. Okay, so.
Oh, for Ku?
Yes. So initially, I think we saw one coming on the. Yeah, one, and then another one to the northeast, and now we see the last one coming on in. It's not going to hit a whole lot though.
Too bad we can't check the ammo in the replay thing.
That's true. I kind of wish we could do that in the first place.
Yeah, same.
Oh wow.
Gosh, we just have to guess.
Counting to 3 is so hard these days. I wasn't trained that much in school. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I kept skipping to 4 by accident.
You know, you're ordering beer, and then that's how the Nazis knew you weren't actually a German. Nebelwerfers, we are going to see those 6-shooters coming on out. In the same way the 381's pinning down a lot of the Germans send it back with interest.
Yep, that's definitely a response. And honestly, Nebelwerfers, they're going to be deadly con in that town for just clearing it. Look at all the damage they did, just 2. And of all supply, he can just afford to keep spamming those Nebelwerfers constantly.
Actually, something that's going to be kind of interesting here for me. Check out the fact that we're seeing 3 recon squads being brought to the top. Of those, I think at least 1 sniper squad still coming out.
Yeah, yeah, one of those seems like a sniper squad maybe, and that's also as standard 6th Airborne because you have pretty good fighting recon full 6, and when you're starting to run low in your regular infantry, your recon guys are going to have to fill in the front line.
Well, and that's what the comment I was going to make. And actually, if you want to go down to the south, it seems their armistice is over. The Brits are charging through, taking hangars almost without care here. And I think moving forward under cover of smoke?
Yeah,
yes, they're moving under smoke. That was a brilliant decision.
Yeah, good use of smoke. That's one of the reasons I do love seeing high level bases. Anytime I see good smoke play, I'm happy inside.
You know, it's good to know that it doesn't take much to make you a happy camper. I'm happy to see,
No,
I'm happy to hear that.
I'm very easily pleased. Just give me like a jumbo, and I'll in myself for a few days.
AT rockets
Yeah,
coming
this
in.
is a.
Yeah,
Oh.
go for it. Go for it. What you got?
But this is a good attack here, a.lennart. Not just because he's actually making ground, but because he took like undefended and unfocused side of the map, pretty much opened up the floodgates, and now Q is going to have to focus defending the southern side while attacking the northern side. And considering when we're talking about micro and players having to focus on certain parts of the maps, this attack on south will definitely relieve some pressure off the northern side.
Mm-hmm. And this gives them just enough time to be rushing in a ton of reinforcements as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nebelwerfer is the 120 mils. Jeez, there's so much artillery up here. My god, they're all firing at one section of the line as well.
Yeah, and we've got the Mozzie Pathfinder. Oh,
Yep.
right on top of the RT.
Oh god.
Oh god, that's gonna be hot.
It's a hot
That's
time
pretty hot.
tonight, and a lot less damage than I thought. Maybe taking out that 120?
Yeah, it's gonna get
There we go.
120 for sure. If he, I know if one of the bombs hit a little bit more south, he probably could have got Neighbor too. Those Mozzie Pathfinders, you really want to try and get them within the flames, or the unit within flames.
Seems fair. Now, we are going to see that artillery 170 mil try to drop it. I know another one came in. I don't know if that's the same one that was there before, but we can see actually a very, very quick barrage coming on down, so he doesn't care too much about the accuracy of it. He just wants to have some covering fire, it looks like, to rush in this last little bit of Pioneer squads.
Yeah, and these Pioneers, once they're getting close, those air landings aren't gonna be having a good time. Especially when it just the artillery span there from Ku. It's helping out Runders, because look at all this ground that he's managed to take on this northern side. Funnily enough, though, Khan, it's a 0-0 at the moment.
True. True, I think, and a lot of that has to do with that push down to the south.
Exactly.
Now, I don't like this. This Junker 88 got called in and had a bombing order and then decided, maybe I'll take a break.
I think might just been a misclick, yeah, honestly. But that's gonna take a little bit of time for it to repair and rearm to
Exactly.
do another strike. And you lose that, Sockin or... Oh no, he's got a JR88 now. I'm gonna go buy Tempest.
True. True, but then again, thinking about what the Brits do have, and here's Nebelwerfer barrage again to the north. Wow. There's something oddly beautiful about watching them.
It's cool because it doesn't just make an explosion, it also has a fiery explosion effect to it, so you know the aftermath is pretty deadly. That whole section of the town is just flame.
True. True. Now, what I was going to say before, though, is I'm looking at just the way the air matchup really should be happening. I guess as the 6th Airborne, I wouldn't be too concerned if my opponent pulls out a Junker. It's like, oh, you have a Junker? That's cute. I have, 3 Typhoons that can come in and kill all, 2 of your pathetic little tanks.
Yeah, and we're all seeing quite a bit of airplay from a.lennart. He is starting to bring in Typhoons and Mozzies quite a bit. The one problem with 6th Airborne is they don't have much AA, especially in a.lennart's deck. It's just those 20mm postons, there's nothing else to it.
That's what they call ironic.
Yeah, that's the one problem with a lot of Airborne decks, is they are lackluster in AA, and having that ground-based AA support is important, even for just winning aerial matches.
Seems like a fair comment to make. Now, we are past Phase C, and like you said, we haven't really seen a whole lot of vehicle play here.
No, yeah, even from both sides. 6th Airborne hasn't even brought up a single Cromwell other tank, I guess because he's really just focused in the infantry fight up north. And because you're not fighting real crazy tanks, ku2521 doesn't really need to get a Yad Panther, as there's nothing really to blow up with it, unless he wanted to do a big attack down south.
2 more Nebelwerfers down to the south. It does seem like Ku wants that territory back. And he's got the Grenadiers to actually to advance underneath this cover of metal. Can you pick one of these guys off on retreat? Let's see. Not quite. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But there is more Kubelwagens full of troops moving on forward, so that's a decent call there.
I'm
sorry, you have to say it again. You're buzzing out a little bit on me.
Yeah, just good old Grenadiers reinforcing the point.
Now, okay. Now, we were singing praises about the amount of infantry that's getting rushed to the north, and for the life of me, I don't know where most of it just went.
It's all dead.
On both sides, there's no infantry left for either side.
Yeah, I mean, 6th Airborne must really be hurting at this point. I mean, they lost a lot of those AB powers out landed because guns. So he probably just not have much. And looking at the 352nd, he has quite a bit more infantry. A lot of those pioneers help out. So I think you just need to start bringing them up to finish up the job.
Yeah, what's more, we are going to see that a.lennart is going to bring in an artillery strike down to the south yet again. And this Junker, does he get the bombs off this time? Yes, he does. He's going for that AA position. Yahtzee.
Kaboom!
And as actually as a nice little prize, he does get the whole off-map Artie as well. That's, I think there's only one strike coming in, so that's a little bit of a win there, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that was 180 points, so getting that was definitely worthwhile. Unfortunately, the JU-88 did get shot down, but I still think that's a pretty good trade-off, because those off-map parties are really like one of the saving grace units for 6th Airborne.
Rather amusing thing in the meantime, so the Polston and the IG-18 actually had a gun battle back and forth. The Polston ended up going the way of the Dodo, which for me is hysterical, but there goes another piece of that AA we were talking about. So there's not a lot of German air power left, perhaps, but what little exists sounds like there's pretty clear skies. And the Polston to the north is actually almost completely out of ammo as well. And that's the only AA on the map, actually, at this point.
Exactly, and that's the one problem with Pistons. They're short range, and even with the AA buffs, they're still not amazing. I'd still want something of 1,000-meter range to really help you out. But I don't think you can even get out of 6th Airborne. It's all short range stuff.
Command Cromwell, by the way, moving on into the south, and a.lennart does have himself a little bit of a lead here. Not by much.
Yeah, he's catching up, but there's 10 minutes left. He has 300 points to catch up to. I mean, it's doable, Khan, but there's been lots of backs and forth, and I still think there's going to be a bit more backs and forth later on in this match.
True. True, and I think it's a little bit unfortunate. We are going to see these Grenadiers getting picked on off pretty quick. There's not a lot of reliable anti-tank down here to take on.
No, there's no anti-tank. The Pak-38's long gone. We've got the Panzerjäger. Well,
yes. Well, he does have 49 rounds of AT ammo.
Yeah, it's a lot, and he can pin the Cromwell, but the Cromwell does have veterancy, and I believe the gun's a bit more accurate. Oh, right. No, Stuka doesn't get the kill. No, the gun of the Cromwell and the Panzerjäger is the same in terms of accuracy, my bad.
I kind of feel like this Junker should be going up to the north here. If for no other reason than to pick off all these little universal carriers. The machine guns aren't very threatening to a lot of things, but they are going to give a fair chunk, I would say, of just suppressive fire.
It's still just an armored unit, yet you need like to spend time and resources to kill. You know, it's just an annoying obstacle that you want to get out of the way.
As Junker 87 just barely is not seeing any of these command tanks that keep coming forward. Good God. Is he finally seeing one now? Yes, he does. He's lining up, and I'm thinking this is going to be a dead Cromwell. Weapon destroyed.
Weapons damaged. Doesn't kill it, but it's going to force it to fall back, and it's late in the match. Yep, just time of it being off field is going to be a real pain in the ass for a.lennart to deal with. That's like 2 or 3 minutes he lost with that Cromwell.
And now, actually, we are going to see the Junker finally falling back here. And wait, Pak-38's actually dueling with the Cromwell. He might not get one more shot off, but if he does, that could be a dead tank. Never mind, pinned. Yeah, I take it all back. And Junker hits the strong point, takes that last little model, just being very annoying there.
Oh, bombing runs from the south, 2 Typhoons coming in. I'm guessing he's going for the Pak because he wants to keep his Cromwell alive, but...
I can't believe the guy. Why would he want to keep that Cromwell alive?
I know, who would want to keep a Cromwell alive? That's just silly. Well, and he does keep it alive.
I was going to say he gets exactly what he's looking for, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very dedicated bombing run, yeah, but...
And that was a
That's
very
keep it alive.
dedicated Nebelwerfer barrage as well. Just
Yes.
forcing him back just out of stress.
It's pretty much so. You slap me, I'll slap you back.
Let's go back to the
But
north
that's
again, though. Pack 38 is going right back against this other Cromwell. And he's close enough. He should be able to... Yep, and there it goes.
There we go. And even close enough to the range definitely helped out. But it's quite amazing though, considering that there's really nothing in this town anymore from a.lennart. He's somehow holding it. There's nothing in like his southern, like middle section of the town.
You mean the
Like,
rubble down here?
once, like,
The big pile of
yeah,
rubble
the
right
rubble.
there, as opposed to the big pile of rubble to the north?
Yeah, just war-torn Europe. We got one sniper, one recon dude, like a machine gun and a Bren carrier here and there, but this is extremely barren.
That's one way to put it. That's very much one way to put it. Yikes! Artillery strike devastates the northern sector.
Yep, that's
That was
naval artillery for you, buddy.
all the mortar squads.
All gone.
Yeah, Pioneer squad. Was that an Osttrooper? Was that a Grenadier even?
I think it was Pio. Another Pio.
Well, there was
I think
one
it was-
Pio I know. I wasn't sure about the other one though. I guess.
Probably Grenadier, I guess. But anyway, it's that infantry, and he's gonna be attacking with one recon and one sniper dude. So, yeah, that's all I showed.
Kind of a laugh. And he's got another one
Yeah.
coming on in. This has been brilliant use of off-map arty. I admit it. I was openly derisive of this.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much keeping a.lennart in the game. It's off map at the moment because those naval artilleries are extremely powerful, as you can see. And I'm wondering if ku2521 runs just out of infantry now. Like a.lennart's been beaten to a Pope, but ku25 is already beaten to a Pope infantry race too, or maybe he's just so focused down south.
I don't know, but there goes one off map. And... Okay. Alright, I was expecting to see more damage being done there.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, we kill a neighbor for at least.
I'm not even seeing a pop-up either, so it's a little bit weird for me, but we're 53-47. We are seeing the Allies close the gap a little bit. And with 5 minutes left to go... And for the life of me, I don't even know who's going to win this.
Yeah, this is... I mean, it's really down to, like, the bone now. With both sides are so, like, beaten up. And, yeah, the off-map is coming in all the time for a.lennart, but that's probably going to be his last run for the northern side. And probably his last run in general, I guess. We've got some infantry now from KU, mainly just leaders and MG42s, and I think that's maybe a Pioneer squad.
Well, you know that things are rough when he's bringing in a Shrek squad against an airborne deck.
Is he?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Nebelwerfer getting one final barrage in before he gets taken out. And he gets the last round off. Yes, I think he does. No, never mind. No, he doesn't.
Nope.
But I think you're absolutely right here. I mean, there's nothing left really for either side. Both guys are exhausted, pounding at each other with absolutely everything that exists left.
I mean, KU still has a lot of artillery units available, but I don't think an SK-18 would really help him out at the moment, and all his neighbor others are now getting bombed, quite literally, by the Typhoons.
And there is how all the storm and water weather, they're having issues here. Good God, the Tempests are going after the Focke-Wulfs. They're making runs at the Junker. And I'm shocked that the Junker's not dead, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's so slow, the Tempest is having time trying to, like, stay behind it.
Indeed. Indeed, but okay, so Mobilwagen coming on out, Mobilwagen, and the Junker's gonna die. There we go.
Yeah, there it goes. And does the Focke-Wulf? Yes, it does. But JU-88 using that to advantage. JU-88 is going to be able to sneak in as those Tempests now stand up, and...
Yeah, but Typhoon goes back the other direction, and bombs explode just to take out both leading infantry sections on both sides. Poor guys.
What a trade-off. What a trade. Oh, wow, that was pretty comedic. And now we got Tretiaks coming in for infantry support. That's how bad it's starting to get now in these last 3 minutes.
Well, at least it means that these Shrek squads are actually going to have something to do.
Oh, Yeah, exactly. They can actually blow up something, and you can pretty much run right up to a Tetrarch almost. It can't exactly defend itself all too well. But this is tight. It's a 0-0 at the moment. There's 2 minutes left. Right now, at the score, it would be a draw. So I'm guessing it's probably going to go down to a technical draw, but maybe a.lennart could just maybe snatch a victory.
Say eke out a couple more tickets than his opponent.
Yeah, just a few more, just to get the like
The unofficial win.
moral victory. Yeah, the moral victory, and we even got finally that Pack 75 gun being brought up north here from the 6th Airborne. It took him all this time to finally get it.
Now, go ahead.
That's usually like a unit you bring right out in A phase because of its just utility.
That seems more than fair. I was going to say, this is the time for me. At this point, I would just take all of my units as the Germans, just kind of just go, attack, move, go. And it's just going to be a technical draw in the first place. Yeah, exactly.
You might as like at this point in the match, you might as well just move up everything. Yes, your KD looks a little bit worse at the end, but your KD doesn't matter.
So really, I do think, and I think we said this before already, that the one thing that kept our good friend a.lennart in the map here is that off-map arty. Without those barrages, he's completely dead.
Yeah, and also the planes help him cry a lot too. Those Typhoon bombing runs throughout the match have been really consistent at hitting good targets, knocking out neighbor earthers and other artillery units.
I think that's fair. That's decently fair. I was not going to 100% agree, but that's pretty fair. I'll say on the average.
Yeah, the off map, I will agree. The off map definitely kept him in play, and I know that's a discussion, right? Yeah, whether off party is OP or not. In this case, I'm gonna lean towards more that it's not, but that's really the only thing that kept him in. That was his only saving grace. Everything else doesn't exactly go too well, especially in C phase. I'm thinking KU could have been a little bit more aggressive in that town. I mean, we did see that one little aircraft hangars raid could have possibly attacked, and moving his mirrors up and spreading them up and trying to move, because that town was very undefended for the longest time.
True, but again, you know, hindsight's definitely 2020, and that will go down as a technical draw.
Yeah, man, that was a pretty tense match overall. Some real good plays from both sides, but that's what happens when you're pretty much watching number 4 fight number 5.
True, very true. And points wise, 731, 685 final score. So technical draw, but like you said, moral victory over here to the 6th Airborne. KD fairly consistent.
Yeah, pretty consistent. It's only like 500 different, which is pretty close, I'd say, for 1v1. I'd say 1000 is usually the average. And I know, looking at kills.
Yeah, you look at the naval battery by itself again. That's the winner right there.
Damn, was that the one on the 7th? No, that's one northern side. That's northern.
That was northern side.
They're knocking at the 81s.
Yep, that one barrage by itself took out 60% of that.
Yeah, that was pretty powerful, yeah. And everything else is pretty, nothing crazy. And Airlanding managed to kill 4 infantry units somehow. Must have been like sheer luck.
We don't talk about him. You know why? He's Chaplin. It was a silent war, man. He was silent but deadly.
Silent but deadly, exactly. And looking at losses, the mortars from the Germans did a lot of damage. Like knocking out leaders, 6-pounders, everything galore.
True. Now, to be fair, I would say the Panzerjägers did exactly what they were supposed to do, which is kind of give some supporting fire here and there, but you're absolutely right. The stovepipes, by themselves, geez, that one was actually almost as deadly as that off-map arty, and is way more consistent for that matter.
I guess because he kept them in the match alive for very long, so he could just rack up a rather large kill list. And he managed to pummel that town pretty effectively, but he just couldn't muster like a good solid push to really take advantage of it. Maybe if he had like some fire support tanks, like a Stug supporting him in that northern side, just for direct fire capabilities would have helped out a bit. So I'm just thinking hindsight rise for him.
That's fair.
Because it just seemed like the infantry wasn't enough. He needed something a bit more, because 352nd Infantry does need that support.
Definitely more than fair. Now, any kind of final closing thoughts you want to make about this particular match?
No, I was a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I was impressed myself, I have to say.
Yeah.
Now,
Also, on a note,
go please, by all means, go for it.
have Pegasus is. This is very important.
Oh my
Both
God.
sides have Pegasus in their icon. I know. It was Pegasus and Pegasus the entire match.
But you know, good guys wear blue.
Well, technically, it's also red for them as well in terms of the division pads, but that's
a minor detail.
yeah. Well, I don't know.
Any kind of closing thoughts you want to bring up?
Nope, that was my one important closing thought, and I have nothing else to say.
I was going to say a bit of a heads up to some of our viewers out there. Keep an eye out for the expansion coming out for this pretty darn soon. It looks like it's going to be really interesting.
Now?
I'm sorry?
It's looking pretty good, and hopefully some new life into the game.
Yep, I'm definitely hoping for that myself. So, guys, that has been Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangroo.
And we'll see you guys all next time. Have a great day.
Take it easy.